Sarah, you're something special, I tell you.
Oh, sorry guys for the technical difficulties. In light of the fact that a lot of people watch the recording from the show, even if you were here live for the beginning, I'm just going to start over just to make sure we have a whole complete show. Again, I apologize to those of you who are on time for 7 p.m. Central Time. We're just going to start this over. So, welcome, bag makers. Thanks for joining us for Social Sunday. I'm going to do some chatting and then I'll answer some questions live at the end of the show. So if you have a question for me, you can type it in the comments wherever you watch the video, either on YouTube or Facebook. You can type that in at any time. Danny usually likes to collect comments during the show, and I'll answer as many questions as I can live. So first off, I wanted to remind you that our book club discussion is going to be on April 19th. Tamara will be joining me live from her home. So we will still be practicing social distancing, and the book club title is called The Quilter's Apprentice. It's written by Jennifer Chiaverini. So that will be on the 19th. Another book that I started reading a few days ago, I'm only about...
Wait, did we start the show over?
Yeah, I just said I was going to. Okay.
Let's go. We got this.
Okay. It's a nonfiction book that I started reading a couple days ago. I'm only 15% of the way through, but I wanted to mention it. We're not going to use it for a book club, but as an art history, I took art history classes in college, and I'm really interested in historical fiction. Anyway, the book is called The Golden Thread: How Fabric Changed History. It's fascinating. So far, they're talking about fabric from the beginning of time. So far, I've only gotten through Egypt and China, but it's so interesting how important fabric was in all of these different cultures. And again, we're not going to be using it for book club, but it's called The Golden Thread: How Fabric Changed History, just in case you're interested in nonfiction or have a little bit of extra time to read an extra sewing-related book in the coming weeks. So again, book club, April 19th. The book title is The Quilter's Apprentice. So a couple weeks ago when I was talking to my therapist last, he mentioned, because I was kind of struggling with what's going on, not knowing an end date, I guess, so to speak. And he said, just use this time. It's a really great time to find another purpose in your new normal. So he said, for example, use this time, especially for those of you who are staying at home, try to do something or make time to do something that you didn't have time before. So, for example, learn a new skill, do some organizing at your house that you never have time for. I found that I've been cooking about 2 meals a day, which is something that never happens. Every other day, Violet and I make a dessert. We've made banana bread. We made a fruit crisp with blueberries and raspberries. What else do we make? Pound cake. So we're enjoying desserts over here. Normally I make dinner maybe 4 nights, 5 nights if I'm lucky a week. But because I have, extra time, I'm making time to make these meals. We're definitely eating a lot healthier. And something occurred to me at dinner tonight. I stopped eating meat last year, but the rest of the family's free to eat meat. For example, if we go out to eat, they can get, chicken or steak, maybe in Danny's case. But I told the kids tonight, guess what? You guys have been vegetarians for the last 2 weeks.
I was thinking the same thing at dinner. I'm like, man, I can't believe I ate another meal of gnocchi with some weird vegetables. I'm like, I was thinking I want a burger yesterday. I'm like, I'm dying on the inside a little bit.
And there's a frozen plant-based burger patty in the freezer for you if you want to.
We'll leave that for the next show. I'll give you guys a review on it. My honest review. These days I'm all nothing but honest.
So I know it's hard. I know definitely for me, especially in regards to the sewing machine, it can be hard to feel motivated about something, but maybe just try to spin it in your mind. I'm going to learn about this thing or read this book that I never have time for, and I don't know, try to put a positive on it, I guess, is what my therapist was going for. So speaking of positives, last Sunday we released the Tower crossbody bag, which we created as a free pattern, but we were optionally taking donations of either $2 or $9. So those were the 3 options, free, $2 donation or $9 donation. I decided to collect donations for the stable that I ride at and my trainer. I've been riding there for almost 2 years now, and the stable is now closed to the public. So there's a lot of horses there they're called school horses. So basically that means the horses are owned by the stable and they're used for lessons. So kids through adults, these horses are used for lessons. And since people really are not riding there now, the horses still need to be taken care of. Even before this happened, the horses always received A+ treatment, and they're still getting that even though they don't have students coming in to ride the horses. And so I am so excited to announce the amount of donations we've collected in just 1 week.
You know, it's pretty amazing too for you to say a number.
Okay.
I packed a lot of orders this past week, and I've noticed some people even will do. It's a single pattern, but yet they've somehow put multiples on that pattern to increase their donation. And it's been very generous, and it's refreshing to see how many. I would say refreshing, but I think a lot of you guys are just great people in general, and everyone, you can do what you can, and we do appreciate that. But it's just amazing how many orders I saw as I was packing them. It was like pretty much every order had one on, and for whatever donation amount, and it was just amazing.
And we totally understand for those that could not donate at this time, because
it's a tough time.
My whole philosophy was, well, I know a lot of people it's very heartbreaking losing their jobs or finding reduced hours at work. And we can't help. I know personally it's a struggle, because you see all these different businesses that are struggling or people that are struggling, and you certainly can't help every single person that you come across that's having a hard time. But if we all pick one or two sources to help, then I think we can make a difference. And so that being said, the donations we've collected in 1 week is $10,659. So thanks guys for doing that. Yeah, it's
truly amazing.
It means a lot, and I really can't wait to get back to the stable. And Violet and I were baking this evening before we made dinner. So we made banana bread. We made these little loaves of banana bread for the staff at the stable, and Violet made horse treats. We've made them before. When we were still riding, she seemed to want to make them every single weekend. So she made... the horse I ride is named Smudge, and her little thing came off. She's calling these Happy Meals. So she made these little boxes with horse treats in them. So not only did we bake horse treats, but she put like peppermint candies on the top, and you probably can't see what this says, but it says Happy Meal for Smudge, care package from Violet and Sarah. So not every horse has his own box, because there's so many horses, but...
Did you write that, or Violet?
Violet wrote this.
Wow. She's got better writing than you do. Sarah's mom is a professional handwriter, I believe, in real life, because she has amazing script. And Violet definitely inherited those genes. So if Angie, you're watching, sorry, Mom. She got it from Angie, I'm pretty sure.
So not every horse has his own Happy Meal, but she bagged in like a bigger bag, like all the horse treats. She also made, besides baking the horse treats, she made trail mix for the horses, which is like plain cereal that the horses like, with these, I guess, horse nuggets, like apple-flavored horse nuggets and peppermints. And so the horses and the humans at the stable have a lot of treats coming. We're going to mail the package with all the treats and the donations off to the stable and my trainer tomorrow, so they'll receive them. We're going to overnight it. They're going to receive them on Tuesday. I'm super excited. I saw someone before the show mention they'd like to see pictures of the horses, so I don't know why I didn't think of that, but I'll try to get something for you for next Sunday, and of course a picture of Smudge. I have an awesome photo of Smudge in his Halloween costume that I'll probably share. He was a unicorn for Halloween. Smudge, he's a flea-bitten gray, but he looks like he's white, and so with the unicorn horn, he did look like a real live unicorn. So thank you, everyone, so much. Thank you. I couldn't say thank you enough.
Yes.
Speaking of making time for things that you wouldn't normally have time for before, I picked up this foundation paper piece and quilt pattern, and it kind of looks like me and Smudge jumping, so I don't know if you could see this. I know it's far away, but foundation paper piecing, I like doing it, but in the past I've done simple patterns like stars with not a lot of segments, and the more detailed of an image you get for foundation paper piecing, the tinier the pieces are you're sewing to paper and putting all the segments of the paper together. So this is what I'm going to be working on. I ordered a couple Kona solid colors to better reflect Smudge's coloring, and so I'm excited to get started. The company that I purchased this from is called Silver Linings Originals, and they have tons of great dogs, farm animals. I'm sure there were cats, lots of birds, flowers. So if you're into foundation paper piecing, check that out. Again, the company's called Silver Linings Originals. Danny's second favorite part of the show on Sunday. We'd like to invite all the bag makers to stand proud, and you sure, our Soul Sweetness squad, we are a mighty group, and you guys showed that with your donations this past week. So let us know in the comments. Many of you have been making bags for many years. Every week we see comments from brand new bag makers, or in the Facebook group from people who have used one of my patterns to make their very first bag. And so that's super special for me, and an honor that someone has chosen one of my patterns for their very first bag. So thank you so much for being part of our community. Danny chose a really great photo for his pick of the week this week, and it's, well, I'll just let you talk about it.
Drum roll. I got to work on my drum roll sound effects. But I saw this bag in the group this week, and I saw it. I'm like, I really love the little attention to details that Sean. I'm trying to think
Tucker.
Tucker. She put into this. I'm gonna put it one more time because
sure.
went by too quick. I love her the bottom corners so you can come with a fancy name.
Yeah, Sean added that.
And she also did the tapering at the top instead of being straight across. She used a single panel with that on top. 2 thumbs up.
I love it.
Amazing job. I love the colors, the picture taking.
Yeah, so
Great
creative.
job.
So creative, and it makes the bag look like almost a totally different bag with those accents, the modified accents. So, yeah, great job, Sean.
Yep.
What are we going to do now? I wanted to announce the winner of last week's giveaway, and then we're going to get over to some questions. So last week's randomly drawn winner was Blossom O, watching over on YouTube. So congratulations to you. I've contacted you on social media and just waiting to hear back so that I can deliver your prize. And stay tuned. There's another giveaway at the end of the show. So, all right, Danny, I guess I'll let you take it away with the questions. I know you've been collecting them.
Yeah. I was just thinking about it. I shouldn't throw my mom on the bus for a script because when I was a kid, she would write these amazing checks. Maybe it's a different generation thing.
Maybe I heard wrong. I didn't hear you throw your mom under the bus.
Well, I said she gets it from Angie. Angie, your mom, does an amazing job with the handwriting, and it made me just stick out in my head. Then I'm thinking, my mom, that's where I would always try to imitate my D for my name. I practiced my signature. I knew one day I'd be very famous. Hasn't worked out yet, but when I get there, I'm ready for some signatures. But I'd hate to say that. My mom also had great script as well. So back to the questions.
Okay.
Sarah, what's the title of the book that you have picked?
For book club, the title of the book was The Quilter's Apprentice. Oh, you might move the logo. So.
Dang, I had to get a better way to incorporate that.
The Quilter's.
You can answer instead of laughing at me.
I did answer. The book is called The Quilter's Apprentice by Jennifer Chavarini. Hopefully I pronounced that right. And it's part of a series. So if you enjoyed the first book, that's the first in the series. There's many more titles that you can read in addition to that. Renee says, Sarah, can you please design a pocket to hold several business cards for any bag? Business cards, kind of like a
credit card
like
slots,
a single.
Right?
I'm assuming he wants something different than the credit card slots. Business cards. All right.
Maybe a fat credit card slot, so you have multiple.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Maybe with a.
I don't mean to call you fat business card slot.
I was thinking maybe something
Healthy.
with a clear vinyl sleeve, but if you were thinking of something different, let me know, Renee. Let's see. Charlotte says, how do you finish the open ends of the zipper by the yard? That's a great question. So if you purchase zipper by the yard, it's usually multiple yards, so maybe 5 yards, 10 yards, what have you. And obviously you need to cut both ends, so it's a little different than a traditional zipper because it doesn't have the finished zipper tails on either end. So depending on the bag pattern, you can encase the very end of the zipper in a fabric tab, which is just a little piece of bias folded fabric that enfolds the cut end of the zipper. The beginning of the zipper, you can kind of fold it on a 90-degree angle, kind of like I did with the Tower crossbody bag. You can have the fabric tabs on both ends. Again, it kind of depends on the pattern. If you're working if you're working on a particular pattern and you need a little help figuring out how to finish those ends, you can always feel free to email me. My email is sarah@sewsweetness.com. There's also metal zipper ends that you actually screw onto the end. I think a couple years ago I demoed that on Sewcial Sunday. I don't even remember what the name of that video might have been. Probably something about zipper ends if you want to search that on Facebook or YouTube or on my website. All right. You could put another one up for me.
No, I'm so busy making sure I don't miss any comments, sir. I think you're lacking this week. We trained her last week on, question selection, and it didn't work so well. So I want to make her appreciate.
My brain just can't do multiple things at the same time. So if I'm answering questions, it's.
They say generally women are better at multitasking.
Yeah, that's true.
That's the truth.
Gloria says, Sarah, what is the name of your acrylic templates? So we have acrylic templates for, I don't even want to say half the patterns because I don't think that's accurate. We do have acrylic templates for a lot of the patterns. They're just optional, but nice to have if you are making things assembly line, making a lot of the same pattern for a craft fair. It obviously is sturdier than paper, and we have a separate section on our website in our shop for acrylic templates, and you can find all of them there.
I'll get your. There's so many great questions.
I hear you kind of chuckling over.
I laugh at some. I see a lot of the comments towards me about being famous. Danny should sign every invoice.
Speaking of invoices, I wanted to let everyone know that our kids, William and Violet, have been helping fill orders this week. So the past 2 weeks, Danny and I have been taking care of the orders. Our employee, we've had him stay home, so he's safe at home. And when Violet helps with packing orders, she makes a little smiley face on the invoice. And for people who donated, I know she was writing "thank you very much," like the abbreviation for it. So if you've ordered anything from us recently and got a little invoice with a smiley face, that's a package that Violet personally packed up herself. But getting back to the questions, Sarah, have you ever thought about designing a bag organizer that you can move from bag to bag? So this has been on my list for quite a while. I think the reason why I have not gone forward with it was because I didn't yet have. I'll have to make a few different sizes. Long story short, but every time someone asks for it, I remember that it was on my list. So maybe I'll move it to the top because one of my pattern ideas for an upcoming pattern kind of fell through due to supply availability. So maybe I could fill it in with that purse organizer instead because that's something really handy. My problem when I change purses, which I do really often, is I leave a lot of things in the purse. Right?
Yeah. Like, let's take a look at this purse. And we're like, I totally forgot I had that stuff in there.
Like
My wallet's like that too. When I change wallets out, I have a collection of receipts and business cards. Yeah. And I was in the basement. We're moving some stuff out of this house to make room for our new toy we'll talk about later. But I found my old wallets. And I'm like, wow, cards are in there.
Money? Oh, cards.
I would never leave money in my wallet, okay. Sarah. That's it.
I find change in purses all the time, but my bags, when I'm changing over. Do you know when the metal frames will be back in stock? So we're out of one of the metal frames for the Sheffield tool bag. That's the 14-inch by 3-inch size. We do have those on order, but as you can imagine, the manufacturing...
Turnaround time is going to be a little
The turnaround longer. Time is... I don't have a date for when we're getting those back in, but as soon as we have hard dates or more information, we'll let you know on the show. I really apologize that we ran out of that. We did order a lot originally, but with everything that's been going on, it's kind of thrown things off for getting supplies in, so I apologize. Nikki says the horses can eat peppermints. Yes, horses love peppermints. Sugar cubes aren't given as often just because peppermints are more handy. Carrots, apples, every horse is different. Some horses at the barn get no treats just because they have either
biting problems.
No, not biting problems, but maybe they're on a specialized diet from the vet and they're not allowed to have treats, or they're food aggressive, which means they've become aggressive around food, and so it's not it's in everyone's best interest not to give them treats. But Smudge loves carrots, and he's quite a while down the aisle from when I walk into the barn. Sometimes if I say hello to someone, or maybe he hears a certain way that I'm walking, I could see down the aisle, he knows that I'm there. he turns around in his stall and he starts calling me. So very excited for treat time, certainly at this table. Rachel says, are you still taking donations for the pattern? Yes, if anyone still would like to, maybe you haven't picked up your Tower Cross body bag yet. Again, the donations are completely optional and just if you choose to do so, but did you put the link in the description? Or there's a link in the description for the Tower Cross body bag, and that's how we're collecting donations. So there's a drop-down box in the product listing. So there's an option. There's 3 different options: free pattern, $2 donation, or $9 donation, and that's how we're collecting the donations. That's how we're keeping track. We just felt it was easier to have everything in a single place so that we can make sure we're getting the correct amounts sent off. Janice says, what is the measurement of the tape on your sewing machine? Tape on my
I think you have washi tape on there. No, there's no measurement on it.
Oh, that's what the tape means. Okay, so I have a piece of pink. It's currently a piece of pink washi tape on my sewing machine because my sewing machine bed does not have a marking for 1/2 inch. And I use a 1/2 inch on a lot of bag making. So I've just put that washi tape there just to designate the 1/2 inch. I think my bed of my machine just has 1/4 inch, 3/8 of an inch, and 5/8 of an inch, I believe. Rachel says, Sarah, what are the comic book boards that you use for organizing your fat quarters? I put my fat quarters on the same boards that I use for my yardage. If you go on Amazon, look for comic book boards. I use they're marked silver variety. I think the size is 7 inches.
Acid-free or something?
Acid-free. You want to make sure you get acid-free. They're 7 inches by 10 inches. And I did a video, I think last year, on how I fold my fabric onto the comic book board. So if you're interested in watching that video, you can find it on YouTube or on my website and just search under the Sew Sweetness channel just type in comic book board and it should come up. Donna says, too funny. Danny, I think you should sign the packing slip for every order you pack in the coming week.
I think that's a great idea. I might actually do that. Put my initials on there.
Or make a little smiley face. Different smiley face than Violet? I don't know.
I do hearts on mine.
Oh, really? Okay.
Next to that. I think you did it when I packed with you, so I continue that trend.
Liz says, can you show a copy of the history book you spoke of? I actually, it's on my Kindle, so I don't have a physical book to share with you, and we can't get a picture on the fly. Danny frowns upon getting last minute.
I can't do it from this computer.
I know you can't.
It's not, I frown upon it.
Well,
I mean, if there's like 5 minutes to the show starts, and Sarah's like, can we add this, that, and this? I'm like, we had a whole week, and I'm like, I'm doing ready for a week thing. Of course, she did it again
That's
today.
what I meant, because I think of things last minute, and he can't just quickly get me a picture.
I'm one of those people who like to be prepared and ready.
Maybe someone can, if someone gets a link, can we maybe...
Yeah, they can link it. I'll put it on the page and I'll put a picture up.
If anyone can or is able to get us a link from maybe Amazon, it's called The Golden Thread, How Fabric Changed History. If Danny finds your link in the comments, if we post that, it'll show, I believe, the cover of the book, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you can watch out for that and I'll keep answering. Kathy says, which of your patterns could be altered to serve as a crochet hook case? The Creative Maker supply case is great for that. I've seen lots of people adapt that pattern for crochet hooks or knitting needles, and it should be fairly easy to do. And the Creative Maker supply case comes in 3 different sizes, so you can choose what size you need based on the size of your crochet hooks, or at least the height of your crochet hooks. Terry says, what can you use instead of inner foam? Foam gets pricey. I've used fleece, but it's not just the same. So inner foam is the product made by Bosel. It's their version of foam interfacing. Several other brands make foam interfacing. Pellon makes their version. It's called Flex Foam. By Annie, Soft and Stable is another version. You can also use automotive headliner fabric. That's another one. I would steer clear of anything labeled, Pellon's is labeled naked foam. That's foam with no thin layer of fabric on the top and the bottom, which is what makes it easy to go through your sewing machine. So if you can, stay clear from any foam that's, naked. Let's see. Oh, Shelly said, Golden Thread is just a suggestion to read. Yes. I have to say the Golden Thread is not for book club. It was just a nonfiction book I was reading on the side, but I think a lot of you might like it, so that's why I wanted to mention it on the show. But again, it's a heavier read, so not going to be used for book club, but...
I'll put this, go to this one, I'll put it through right away, but I don't think there's a picture, so Michelle, I don't think this is going to work.
Okay, we'll try it though. Hillary says, my zipper by the yard is metal. Do you have any hints for sewing with metal zippers? So I did a video a couple years ago. The video is called Different Types of Zippers, which that's how you can find it on YouTube or on my website. And I talked about different types of zippers, but I also showed how to remove some of those metal zipper teeth so that you can trim your zippers shorter and get some of those teeth out of the way. So check for that video, and hopefully that helps you with using the metal zipper for your project. Okay. Well, Michelle posted the link on Goodreads. It's not popping up the picture like we hoped it would do, but we'll try one more. No, it's not. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, that's unfortunately we can't get the book cover for you right this second, but that's the actual title of the book. If you can just check that out on Amazon, and the book cover graphics will come up when you find it on Amazon.
I thought this was a funny one.
Melissa says, Danny, I want a packaging slip showing I ordered nothing just to have your autograph and hearts. That's really funny, Melissa. Anita says, have you restocked the purple cork? So you can answer this one, right?
Well, I don't know if Sarah wants to know the big secret's been unveiled, but I've found, since, I'll be cutting cork soon, when we first started this business, I started helping by packing cork. And then Sarah, it's like, sometimes she was actually cutting all the cork by hand by herself, plus doing pattern designs. So I'm like, I'll try cutting the cork. That lasted 1 week, if maybe 2 days, if that. We were using our dining room table. It was low. I'm bending over. My back felt like it was broken. I'm like, this is not for me. So luckily, a few months down the road, Adam took over. It's Sarah's cousin, and Sarah's dad actually built a really nice table. And before that, I had another table that I elevated higher, so you wouldn't be leaning over so much. And it made it a little better. But in the past, I was looking for a better way to cut cork, because I know it's still difficult. And Adam said he preferred that method. But in the back of my mind, I'm like, how we make this better? So I found this electric cutter that you press a button, it zooms across the table, comes back. As it comes back, it lifts up like 4 inches. Then it goes to the next piece. You pull it back and you do it. So it's easier on the body. And so obviously we have a good amount of product to cut because it's been a little bit. And we ordered it on Friday. So
it's here. It's been here. We just... because Adam has not been here. He's been safe at home, so we have been taking care of orders and emails, and so we just need a little bit of extra. We need this machine so that we can get the fabric that's sitting here cut and listed on the website. So
yeah.
I saw other stocking questions about
there's
black with rainbow cork.
This was funny.
Gina says, rainbow black cork, who bought it all and when will it be back? I'm trying to wait for it before I order more. So that's the first one we're going to cut because we have basically a whole
After
roll.
that show, as soon as Sarah showed it, it was like when I did the orders that night. And I started the orders a little late, maybe like 12, 1 o'clock. I started printing, getting going. I went downstairs, started packing orders, and it was like order after order. That rainbow stuff sold out within a day or two, I would say. Was it a day even? Maybe 2 days?
It was like 20 minutes probably.
Yeah, whatever it was. I couldn't believe it. I was like, oh my gosh. I was overwhelmed. So I was up until the sun came up the next day. And we do appreciate the orders and, supporting,
But we do have it here. We just need to cut it.
We do have, all the product that's here just needs to be cut.
Yep.
Renee's a little more detail.
Renee says, Sarah, I was thinking to have about 15 to 25 cards in a pocket to hand Oh, okay. Gotcha. All right. 15. That helps a lot. 25 cards. All right. Lori says, I want to make a denim bag, but not sure of what kind or color thread to use for top stitching. Any suggestions? So, I guess it depends on if you want the denim bag, the stitching to look like
a pair of jeans, orange or something.
So I bought a couple kits a couple years ago to make my own jeans, and I
saw it in the basement where we were arranging stuff.
I never made them, but the kits came with the denim thread, the fabric, and the thread to make the jeans, and the thread that they included was kind of.
I'm going to guess a golden orange.
It was almost like this. It was very similar to this, if not the exact same color. So, again, it depends on if you want it to look
you want
like
the stitches
jeans
to stand
or not.
out? You want to be contrasting, or do you want it to match?
Maybe check out your favorite pair of jeans and see.
In the group, there's been people who's made
that's
bags
true.
from denim. I've seen it. And one of my picks of the week previously was a denim bag, and they look pretty amazing. Depends what color your denim is, too. There's a lot of variants.
Oh, I forgot. I put this on the table when we were talking.
There was a question about that, too, why the halter was on there.
I put this. I wanted to ask you guys because I need a suggestion. So before all this stuff happened, I bought Smudge a new halter, and this goes on his head. See, it has his name on it. So I tried it on him the last time I was at the stable. I haven't been there in 3 weeks because social distancing. But it's a really nice halter, except it's too big over here in this area. So I need to make this tighter, and I need to add more holes. So I've never made holes. The holes that are existing already, you can tell that they were burned in there, so they're permanent. So I was trying to decide one of two things. Either burn more holes. If I'm burning more holes, how do I do that, if anyone knows?
Heat up an awl and put it through it.
My other idea was maybe, because I have small grommets for my rivet press, maybe if I just make all the existing holes into grommets and then make new holes and put more grommets.
Why put more grommets than the ones you need?
So everything looks the same.
Can you see that part while it's on him?
I guess not.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Don't know.
It's on the bottom, right?
Where's that? It's on the side of his face, kind of.
Can you try it on for us?
No, I can't.
Oh, dang.
Anyway, maybe someone has a suggestion as far as burning it or what they think will look best. It's been hanging by the front door, and it's kind of sad every time I see it there. But hopefully I'll see him soon, and I can add it. Just inspecting
I wonder if it's drilled first, then burned.
Drilled?
Or it's burned as it's drilled, yeah.
Oh, can you light your drill bit on
fire? Well, it's going to get hot anyways, because it's when you cut, like, say if you were cutting plastic with a saw, it actually melts the end of the plastic, so you got to cut it very slowly.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so if you have a drill and you put it at very high speed, it'll probably burn it as it's cutting it.
Okay. Anyway, I'd like to fix this for him, so when I see him next, I can give it to him. So let me know in the comments if you have a suggestion. Teresa says, is the So Sweetness recipe booklet still available? Yes, it's on my blog. You can find it anytime, and it's a PDF download. It's recipes that everyone in the So Sweetness group submitted, so their best family recipes or their favorite recipes. If you Google just So Sweetness and recipe book, it should come up.
I see a lot of burn it with use soldering iron, burn it with an awl. There's a drill tip that it's meant for using that.
Oh, okay.
There's punches and holes.
Thank you, everyone. I knew you guys would have the answer. Kim says, are you going to have your patterns available for Cricut? Short answer, at the end of the year, we were working on having more items available as SVG files. Currently, we only have a couple things, all the Minikin Season 1 patterns and purse tabs, and I think that's it. There was some, technical difficulties going on with that, so we put that on hold, but we're hoping to get it situated and have more files available for you. And the SVG files are used in any electric cutting machine, so Brother, Silhouette. Lots of companies have electric cutters, and the SVG files are pretty much universal for most any cutter. We're getting to the questions. That was quick. Oh, this show flew by, even though we had
I think it was a huge delay.
A second delay.
Yeah.
I apologize. I see there's so many questions. I apologize for all the questions that we did not get to live. But you can always reach me via email, or we'll be back next Sunday for the full out Sewcial Sunday show with the book review, the demonstration, all that stuff. The giveaway this week, I decided to give away another $40 gift certificate. So one randomly drawn winner will be chosen at the end of the day this Saturday and announced on next Sunday's show. And all you have to do to enter the giveaway is answer this question. What is your favorite hardware color? So Danny put a few suggestions down there. Gold, silver, rainbow, gunmetal.
Rose gold.
Rose gold. Based on what we sell in the shop, I feel like rainbow's probably the number one seller, but gunmetal and silver are close seconds. But let us know what your favorite colors are.
I feel like rainbow everything currently has just been really popular.
Yeah.
Cork, hardware, zippers.
Yeah. It probably depends on the fabric you're using also. I don't know if it's more of a neutral or single color, maybe a gunmetal. I've been using gunmetal the last few bags that I've been making, so it just depends.
Have you guys seen that sorbet zipper? Now I'm packing orders, I noticed this stuff. But it's a really cool one if you haven't seen it. When I come across it, I'm like, wow, if I was making a bag, maybe ever, that would be the one I picked. I'd probably build a bag around the zippers and hardware, because I'm working with it more. I see how cool the stuff is.
That's a fun idea.
Yeah.
All right.
Reverse, right? Usually get the fabric first.
Yeah, that's true.
I do hardware backwards.
Yeah, usually the zipper, now that you mention it, usually the zipper's the last thing that I choose.
Maybe next time you can start backwards. Zipper, hardware, then fabric.
That's an interesting idea. All right, well, everyone, I hope you stay safe. Have a great week. Happy sewing and stay busy at your sewing machines.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everybody.